How's it going, everyone? Your boy Corey here, aka Crasher, back with a new video. And ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to be checking out and responding to an article on Dexerto that is titled, Jake Paul could face a year in jail over criminal charges related to Arizona looting. So let's begin with this. Just days after being cleared on all charges involving his alleged May 2020 looting spree, Jake Paul is back in trouble, this time with city-level charges being pressed against him. If you think of internet entertainers as constantly being involved with some sort of controversy, the Paul brothers are probably towards the top of that list. The case of Jake Paul's May 2020 federal charges after an alleged looting spree in Scottsdale, Arizona shopping mall is no different. Jake responded to the allegations of looting, stating that his crew was at the location to peacefully protest one of the most horrific injustices our country has ever seen. Going on in his statement posted to Twitter, he stated, "However, I do not condone violence, looting, or breaking the law." The YouTuber's statement was taken lightly due to video of him allegedly taking a bottle of vodka from a P.F. Chang's restaurant the day before. In early June 2020, just days after the Jake Paul's incident on May 30, he was charged with criminal trespassing and unlawful assembly by the United States FBI. Just 2 months later, the FBI proceeded to raid the YouTube star's home. The raid, which was done during a house party at the star's home, was done in an attempt to find information regarding his alleged looting, but instead they found guns scattered across Paul's backyard, all of which were confiscated. After over a year of almost no news regarding the looting incident, it was finally reported in mid-August 2021 that the U.S. attorney has opted to drop all charges against the Jake Paul crew. Based upon the investigation and evidence available at this time, the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona is not pursuing federal charges against Jake Paul for his conduct, they said in an official statement. However, Jake Paul's not quite out of the woods yet. According to TMZ, the city of Scottsdale, Arizona has decided to refile charges against the YouTuber. The charges from the city should come as no surprise, as they had dropped them last year to allow the feds to pursue their own charges. Jake is due in Scottsdale court on September 6th, and if convicted, he could face a maximum sentence of 1 year in jail. What could this mean for the amateur boxer? Jake Paul, also known for his newfound amateur boxing interest, is due to fight Tyrone Woodley on August 29th, just over a week before he's due in court for his alleged looting charges. While the fight will not be affected by the new city-level charges, the YouTuber may likely have to postpone checking more opponents off of his hit list. Posted on his Twitter on August 14th, the amateur boxer also made it a point to include his older brother Logan Paul on the bottom of the list. Okay, I've got some things to say about this, so strap yourselves in and let's unload here. So first off, I find it really hilarious and really contradictory as well when Jake makes a statement, "However, I do not condone violence, looting, or breaking the law," when he has done exactly that in this situation. There is inarguable video and image evidence that depicts exactly that. But I find it really funny how he tries to save face by trying to give quote-unquote good advice. Well, Jake, maybe you should take your own advice instead of acting like a fucking moron 90% of the time. And the second thing I want to point out here is I find it incredibly disgusting how Jake Paul, given the power and status that he has of being an e-celebrity, is able to get away with these type of things, whereas if you had some average Joe or Jane do the exact same thing, or maybe even less of that same thing, they would be punished a lot worse off than Jake. Hell, I'd bet my ballsack that exact thing would happen. And the third thing that I want to address here would be within the small paragraph that touches base on the raid during his house party that he had. And this was around the time that COVID-19 was insanely problematic, and nobody was allowed to have massive gatherings at that time. And yet Jake was doing exactly that, which was posing a massive risk of spreading COVID-19, and the fact he didn't get punished for that absolutely boggles my mind. And also, the fact that they ended up finding guns on his property is also baffling. Like, what the actual fuck, man? And again, making the point that if any other Joe Schmo or Jane Doe were to do the exact same thing, no doubt they would be punished to the nines over it. But it seems like Jake Paul, with his star power, is able to get away with just about everything except murder. And look it, I want to make this abundantly clear. At the end of the day, Jake Paul is a human like all of us, and I would never have any ill will towards him. I would never wish for any unfortunate situation to take place on him. But the thing is that while I say that, it's also not too much to also have accountability. You know what I'm saying? I don't fault people for making mistakes. However, I would expect for those people that made said mistakes to be accountable and pay for those mistakes. And it seems like with all of the degenerate shit that Jake Paul has done over the years, with little to no consequences as a result, it really truly makes me cringe overall that Jake Paul is able to get away with a lot of these things that would have severely handicapped others if they were to do the exact same thing. And what I mean by handicapped is they would have been massively punished as a result if they did the same shit that Jake has done. And you know what? I'm gonna add a fourth thing in here as well. The fact is, Jake, like it or not, you have a massive following. You have a massive influence, and with great power comes great responsibility. And I know that cliche is way the hell overdone and overdriven right into the ground, but it is very applicable. With great power comes great responsibility, and you have, with the influence that you have the responsibility to be responsible for what you do and what you say, because you have people of many age groups that look up to you, and one of those age groups includes young kids. So if they were to see this type of stuff take place and see that you are not being punished and held accountable, they are probably going to think, oh, well, if Jake Paul can get away with this, then you know what? What's stopping me from doing the same sort of thing? Bam! And next thing you know, they end up being severely punished as a result. Do you get my point here? And you know what? I want to chuck in this fifth point as well. I want to reread verbatim this line, and I'm going to respond because I got something to say here. Jake responded to the allegations of looting, stating that his crew was at the location to peacefully protest one of the most horrific injustices our country has ever seen. Now, this is in reference to the situation involving George Floyd. And even to this very day, that situation still very much disturbs me. I'm still very saddened about that situation. And my heart still and always will go out to all of those that were affected of that situation. It was very horrible. But the fact that Jake tried to coin this as a peaceful protest, despite what he has done, is incredibly stupid, an incredible lie, and also incredibly disrespectful as well. How dare you, Jake? How dare you claim this as a peaceful protest of one of the most horrific injustices that the country has ever seen, when you yourself have committed a crime in that very peaceful protest? There was nothing peaceful about that protest. Don't even fucking try to bullshit me with that one, boy. So I'm not really sure what else I can say here about this situation as of right now, but if there is an update to follow this video, then I will do exactly that, depending on the size, and I will keep you guys in the loop with what is going on, because we do have ourselves the court hearing on September 6th, and if he was to be convicted, then he could face a maximum of 1 year in jail. But if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think that jail sentence is going to happen whatsoever. I think he's going to get off with a slap on the wrist, but we will have to wait and see what actually takes place on the day. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next video.